So I just recently found out that dolphins masturbate by getting an eel wrapped around their ding dong. And the weirdest bit is, it's not just the fact that an eel is wrapping itself around a dolphin and that's electrifying. How the fuck is it masturbating? Like, what the fuck are we humans teaching fish though? Welcome to Break Time on Westside, your number one break time podcast show, coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya. The man on the mic is Sir Denver B, and man, we have got to get right into this because, well, it's not gonna last long. It is none other than, wait for it, premature ejaculation. Now, a lot of shorties like to say, oh, he has premature ejaculation because, he went in and it just came out. Shorties been talking about this a lot. And, they kind of use it on niggas who just can't last that long. And for those of you that have been listening to my podcast long enough, you know very well how I like to tell people, if the nigga can't last long, let the nigga go for 2 rounds. 2 for 1 special when you think about it in some sense. Now, when you think about it though, some niggas like to claim they have premature ejaculation, but the thing is, it's not ever that serious because premature ejaculation is actually a condition. It's almost like a disease. So when people come through and they start talking about, oh, he has premature ejaculation, she has, as in because of I have premature ejaculation, some of y'all niggas just come quick, because the pussy is just too damn good. You go in, or she's giving you the best head game ever, and you bust quick. So you probably would have to blame the shorty, because in reality, premature ejaculation is a thing, but what you're going through is your shorty's fault. The shorty that you're hitting's fault. Probably her mouth game too good, probably the pussy too damn fine and shit. So you ended up dropping the kids too fast. And whenever you kind of find a guy talking about that whole, oh, I have premature ejaculation, you probably need to start asking him proper med level questions, for the past 6 months, have you been busting it too quick? Or is it just the dry spell that made you bust too quick? Because niggas go through that. You've been on a major dry spell for a couple of months. And then all of a sudden, shorty lets you have some. And then you just go in and in less than a minute, you're dropping it. So it's 30 seconds to Mars happened over here and my kids is out. So it kind of feels a bit painful for people who actually have premature ejaculation. And as Sir Denver B, the man who has come and repped people from the Small Dick Association, the boy child that is oppressed, I kind of have to come and rep these guys as well, because it's not much of a guy problem as it is a shorty problem. And when it's a shorty problem, it becomes a guy problem because these shorties just like to talk too much. Shorties, y'all talk too damn much and you guys give too much detail. No nigga's ever gonna start talking about I went in there and she cummed in 2 seconds and shit. That's nothing. If you can hit that ass and you hit it well, if there was some style that you did as a shorty on your nigga and it was just mad, you went and did the full on coconut twice and this guy is blown out of his mind, then he will talk about it. But you just went in, or more he just went into you and you come. Nigga ain't gonna talk about that. Because first of all, we don't know when you come. Unless you tell us. Or unless you pull one of those I'm about to come type of things. And then you get all, groany and shit. Yeah, for a bunch of seconds, a minute or some shit. Because that's the only way we can ever really know that you cummed. But if it's a nigga, by the way, some niggas can bust and you won't even know that they busted up until he pulls out, and then you just feel something liquidish flowing out. And that's facts. That's straight up facts though. So with shorties, they come up and they're yo, I went in and this nigga busts in 10 seconds. I was giving this guy head and 2 minutes later the guy just busts. And you're yo, probably this guy just really liked you that much. Probably the guy had that super high level lust going on his life. And he's been feeling you for the longest time. You've probably been his major crush since his first year of campus and shit. And the nigga just busted in 2 minutes. So you're gonna start clowning the guy, or you're probably not gonna give the guy a chance because you're like, oh, I don't like niggas who bust quick. I want a nigga who gonna ride it real good. Sometimes us guys bust quick because we actually do like you a lot. And that's like one of the worst paradoxes that happens. Because when a nigga wants a shorty so badly and he finally gets the chance and he goes in and is really good, niggas busting in like 10 seconds. Okay, not exactly 10 seconds, but y'all get the point. And then it becomes like a problem for us niggas. So when we go in, like we're going in, you know, we like the pussy, we like the shorty, the conditions are perfectly right. So this nigga knows that in like a full 30 seconds flat, I will be flattened. I will have emptied my kids into this woman if given the chance. But now, because he knows that that's gonna happen, like niggas to start doing math in his head. And that's straight up brutal on a nigga. Because a nigga has to sacrifice his pleasure. Hold back, control that shit for as long as he can, just so that this shorty can probably get her pleasure, and then, you know, he can bust. And some of these shorties don't even get pleasure in like 10 or 15 minutes. Like, fine, yes, according to WebMD, like a shorty is supposed to get, as in like good sex should be like 20 minutes, because that's like probably how long it'll take a shorty to like orgasm and like come. But for a nigga, like niggas can bust in about 7 minutes. That's like average. But because a shorty is going past average, you know, she's like 45 minutes in and, you know, she still ain't come yet. A nigga's like, yo, what the fuck is it gonna take? Because a nigga done cardio on you. Like, this guy has been going all in. He's been dropping every single one of his energy balls right in there. Like, this guy has been putting in the work. Like, if this guy was Mario, this guy will have let go of all 3 of his lives in that one single round. And then let's say you end up busting in like 15 minutes to like an hour. And then you're like, you want round 2 immediately. Like, niggas automatically finished. Especially since some of y'all shorties don't like to do the work. I don't get how the hell y'all even get a nigga in that position and then want round 2 after that. Like, the fuck? But anyways, like niggas tend to hold back. For a long ass time because we don't want to, you know, show that we're in that situation. And it becomes a problem for us because like that brings in the whole embarrassment story, because you as a shorty are gonna go and like tell your friends, oh, you know, this guy busts so quickly. Oh, like this guy can't last in bed. Oh, like this guy's dick game is weak because he couldn't last. I've only ever heard like 1 or 2 compliments from a shorty which came out as, yo, like my pussy is so on fire. Like, this guy went in and he fell in love. Although nowadays, apparently, when a nigga smashes the first time and falls in love, apparently shorties say ew. I don't know where the hell that came from, but it's apparently a thing. Now, the other time when I heard it, you know, like shorty was also calling her pussy bomb because she was like, this nigga went in and the nigga bust too quick. And she didn't like that because she had been hitting a couple of niggas. Like, she'd hit like 3-4 niggas. And then she's like, yo, how the hell is it that when niggas are going in a super short ass time, they're all busting quick? Cause, you know, fine, I get it, I have bomb pussy, but hold yourself back for a bit. Like, yo, I want some pleasure too. And for that, you know, like I can tell you, of course, like I get where you're coming from. So just tell these niggas to hold the fuck back. Don't come until you do. Although it's kind of hard to tell a nigga that when you're in bed, but you get the point. So yeah, just tell it how it's supposed to be told. But now, when it gets to that stage where it's like, you know, there's actually a condition of premature ejaculation. Much as I've talked about, you know, just busting quick. When it's that kind of a situation, like you find like a nigga is getting head for like a minute, 2 minutes. Hell, like maybe like shortly after this guy's boner went up, this guy just cummed. And it becomes super embarrassing for a guy because it's not like niggas want to bust in a woman's mouth when she's giving head. But there are times when it just come out. I'm not saying that from experience because, you know, like I ain't never gotten anything as bomb as that. And y'all know I ain't even that big of a fan. But there are niggas who be getting that good head. And, you know, like let's say the shorty probably didn't want to fuck. She wasn't down for it. Probably she's on her periods and shit and she doesn't feel good, you know, like mixing the blood. Or, you know, probably she just look at it and she's like, you know, she's not in the mood, but she'd rather give you head. Probably because you're at a place where if you all start taking clothes off, it's going to be a lot of work getting them back on. Like, let's say you're at a hidden section of a public place. So, like, when a nigga goes and busts in your mouth, like, what happens? Because it becomes this whole question of, you know, are you a spitter or are you a swallower? And like there was some, social experiment that was carried out in the US not too long ago. And, shorties were being asked, like, yo, if a nigga busts in your mouth, like, do you spit or do you swallow? And, like, a ton of shorties were coming out and they were like, yo, like, I'm going to swallow. And, they were being asked, like, why? So it wasn't much of a question of, like, are you just going to swallow? Like, why are you swallowing? And I think the best answer that I heard at that time was, yo, like, those is my kids you're talking about. Like, so I got to swallow. And that was the funniest shit ever. But soon after that, I was talking to one of my former co-hosts, and I was like, yo, would you like swallow or spit it out? Because I know come for some people is like a turn on, because there's some shorties that are like, yo, like bust on me and I will get an orgasm from that. Like shorties can get off on actually seeing cum. Some do, and I'm gonna be super explicit with that. Some do. But there's some who look at it and they're like, yo, that's disgusting. Ew, I don't even want that shit near me if you're busting out. If you're dropping it, drop it on the sheets, drop it on the floor, drop it anywhere else. Drop it in a condom if you hit it with, the strap on. So it's a question of spitters or quitters. And you're like, nowadays I'm hearing more and more shorties busy saying, yo, like, I'm a swallow. And now my co-host, as I mentioned earlier, like, yo, when I was busy asking her, she was like, spitters are quitters. Which, in my opinion, was like one of the best lines I have ever heard, period. The whole spitters or quitters thing was so funny, and it's still kind of amusing to this day, because it's like, 5 years, the nigga busted, and, you're just gonna swallow it like that? And like, yeah, spitters or quitters. And in my head, I'm like, yo, how comes I never got one of these? Because, like, for those niggas that have these porn fantasies, I kind of imagine getting like a bomb head and they come in a nigga's mouth, or they've been giving it so good, like they want to come on like a shorty's face or some shit. Like this is your way of getting what it is that you want. If spitters are quitters, I'm down for that shit. I should probably test it out, then give results back. But anyways, I should probably stop making this so much about the girls as it is the guys. Guys, I will come back to you. If you have premature ejaculation, then please go visit your gynecologist or your healthcare provider ASAP. Talk to them about it. Like, niggas are always embarrassed about this shit, but I figured you might as well just go and like talk to someone about it and actually tell them, yo, I think I bust too quick. Because there are times when it's actually a condition. A lot of times it's just niggas who've been getting bomb pussy, or they've been on dry spell for too damn long, but there are times when it's actually serious. Like, I've been banging for like a year or too many months and I bust in like less than 2 minutes real quick. So yeah, probably go talk to a healthcare provider, go eat some nuts or some shit. And you'll probably get some advice. And if that seems like it's too big of an issue, or you don't want to do that, you can always follow some of my tips. Start asking yourself, what is Pythagoras' theorem? What is the law of relativity? What are Newton's laws of motion? You can recite all of them, present their formulas in your head, try and act like you're doing that math equation on your head. And whatever happens, don't look at the shorty, because the minute you look at the shorty, that's when all those thoughts leave. And that's when you just start getting to that point where you're bust quick, and your kids is about to come out, you won't be able to hold back, and those kids is just gonna drop. And I'm being serious about this. Like, this is some shit that actually affects people. So yeah, if you know someone that has premature ejaculation as a woman and you've been with them, like, don't clown on a nigga. Sometimes you don't have to tell a nigga bust too quick. Sometimes it's okay if we just let that shit slide. Not just slide in, but let the thought of the fact that they busted too quick slide. Let them do some other shit, like work their mouth or their fingers or some shit. But anyways, it's about time you head back to that work. Always put that process in that progress, or be the prevention. I have been your man, Sir Denver B. This has been Battle of the Sexes. And if you guys want to hit us up, it is at IG on Breaktime_Westside. On Twitter, you can hit me up on Bagaka the D. And on Facebook, it is on Breaktime on Westside. I will see you guys later.